The product rep had to go behind closed doors because this shoe was locked up. Hey, Pusher Nation, Dr. Dave here. I am holding next year's version of the Nike Vaporfly version 3. A couple new upgrades that I see on the shoe because I race in this shoe. On the sole is this new divot cutout. Little fashion statement, plus that's a way they can chop out some very little amount of weight that was actually taken off the shoe and a little more stack height. From what I feel in the foam, it feels a little stiffer. Bend in the shoe, to me, is a lot stiffer. It has the vapor weave upper, which you can see through, kind of a netting material. Has a semi-gusseted tongue. Problem I've had in the past that tongue moves around a little bit, so they didn't do too much of an improvement to fix that from happening. A little bit more padding on the top of the tongue, not too much to go overboard, but I think a little bit more than the present version. Shoelaces, same type, that new style sawtooth type lace, still has that nice stretch in it. Let's flip over to the undercarriage. Have a little bit different forefoot coverage here. New color on the bottom here. The orange with the black logo, still have the cutout on the bottom. We can see the carbon plate in there. It has the cutout here, reduces some weight. Still have the fly back here. So overall, this shoe is supposed to be dropping July 2023. Vaporfly 3, definitely one you want to have in your race shoe lineup. In my hands is the new iteration coming out in 2023 of the SuperComp trainer. Now, let me go over some updates that I think I'm seeing on here, different from the trainers that I already have. Let's start with the laces, and I'm thinking these laces are a little bit thinner than the current models, but still with that little bit of stretch in there, which is real nice. Before you run, you get a good tie down. These are going to stretch with you during your run. On the tongue, still semi-deviated. So we have two strips down the side, on the inside holding the tongue in place. So that's going to prevent your tongue from gliding side to side. On the upper, still that engineered mesh, a little bit different than the current version. And then I see on the outside and the back here, it's a little bit stronger material than this point right here, which feels a little bit airier. This is pretty much where your big toe's going to be, so that's going to give a little bit better sensation on your foot. Has some ribbing in the material here, which is going to add a little bit more support. Has these little protrusions on the material here. I'm not sure if those are reflective or not. It would be pretty neat if they did. The logo, the coloring of it almost seems that it's going to be a reflective colorway in the dark. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know, the sole. How has that changed? Let me tell you, when you first pick up this shoe, you're going to think, I didn't think shoes could get any lighter. But I'll tell you, somehow they took more weight out of this shoe. What I was just told a little while ago, inside information, is that a little bit different foaming here. Still fuel cell foam, but a little lighter. Still a two-level foam. Got the carbon plate in the middle. Nice colorway coming along the front. On the bottom here, still have that deviated sole that New Balance came to market pretty much first with. See your Energy Arc plate, carbon plate in the bottom there. Still have that pressure point rubber on there to protect that plate. So that splay, what that does is spread out when you're coming down on your stride. And when you're picking your leg up, that foam is going to release that pressure, and that's where your responsiveness comes in. That energy is going to go back into your leg, get your leg up higher, so you can have a quicker turnover. This is one of my favorite shoes on my long runs. Actually gives me a sense of, not just a sense of running faster, I don't even know I'm running as fast as I actually am on my long runs until I look at my GPS watch and see that I'm running 30 seconds to a minute faster than I thought I was. just based on the shoe technology. For me, the SuperComp trainer is definitely one to have in your shoe lineup for your long runs. Saves your legs. Next day, 2 days later, if you're doing your long run, takes a lot of pressure off your legs, so after a couple days, your legs are still fresh. Right now, we're going to be talking about the SuperComp Elite, the new iteration coming out next year. Brand new colorway, and these are definitely Dr. Dave type colors. Let's go over a few things that I see different from the SC Elite that I race in now to this new model coming out. Still have that fully gusseted tongue. Feels like almost there's a little bit thicker material on here. Kind of a webbing material. Feels real nice. So it almost, with the fully gusseted tongue, gives you that sock-like technology or fit on your foot. A little bit different on the eyelet type technology they've come out with. Has a kind of a string or rope that the laces are hooking under. Still has those nice stretchy laces New Balance is known for. What I like about them is they're thin but wide enough so that they're not putting pressure directly on those hot spots on the top of my foot. Has a pull tab on the tongue, pulling the shoe on, which is one of the tough things with shoes like this with a fully gusseted tongue. So you get a pull tab here on the tongue and one back here on the back of the heel to help you get that shoe on. Let's move down to the upper. You can see it's breathable with some kind of holes in the upper. So that's going to give a good breathability during racing. Not going to get hot foot. A little bit stronger material on the inside here. Nice logo on the back heel. Still a little bit of heel cup in there that I can feel. Doesn't flop right down, so there still is some heel stability in there for you. You can feel down the bottom of the heel some extra padding that's put in there to give that extra stability. Still has the same fuel cell technology, but from what I was told, the foam has changed a little bit. And that's where some of the weight is coming off the shoe. When you pick this shoe up, it makes you think, I did not think that racing shoes could get any lighter. But from a lot of the brands, from models they're coming out with next year, I'll tell you, they've taken a lot of weight off. Let's go to the bottom here. Has the same decoupled sole that New Balance is known for. Has that wide gap coming down the middle. Still see the Energy Arc carbon plate. Has that rubber in the middle here for protection on the plate, so you're not going to get abrasions right on top of the carbon. Has plenty of rubber around the key points on the forefoot and on the heel. Now, from knowing coloring on foams, you know the white foam is almost a translucent type color. You can tell it's a lot lighter foam. So, and I see that on this model here. Beautiful looking shoe, beautiful upgrades they've come out with. We'll go over a few of the shoe changes here on the Rebel V3 from previous models. The tongue, semi-gusseted tongue. I feel stripping from the tongue down the outside and the inside here. Keep that tongue in place so it doesn't move around on you. The laces, a little bit thinner than other models of the New Balance shoes, but still with that New Balance stretching in the lace. So when you get a nice firm tie down, that's going to stretch with you during your run. Very airy upper. You can see that from the toe box with the cutouts here. Let the air in. You're not going to get hot feet while running. This is a mid-run shoe or pretty much an everyday trainer type shoe. Still has the fuel cell foam on here, but with a little more stack height. Good bendability. Have our locking around the ankle and padding on the heel here. Have good support cupped around your heel. Still a little bend in there, but just enough heel cup to keep you in place, but without adding too much weight. On the inside, your insert is removable, so in case you have other inserts you want to use, these can be taken out very easily. You can tell by the eyelet technology they have here, that's going to last a long time because that's built up with a little rubber membrane along the whole section of eyelets. Let's go down to the sole, and you see it's one shoe with a unique one. There's no deviated sole at all here. Has that old sole look, but with the lighter foam and still rubber only on your key points. So that takes a lot of weight off your shoe. Has a full 4-foot coverage of rubber. So that does add a little more weight for your everyday trainer shoe. But they take that weight out, fuel cell foam. So all in all, the Rebel V3, good option for your everyday trainer shoe. So if you're looking for a good mid-run everyday shoe, you can take this for a long run. Maybe a little hard on the legs after a while, but still will work out. Right here in my hand, we have the Superblast. Excellent colorway, gray and black on top, black, gray stripes on the logo. Get the two-tone soles. Let's check out the specifics here. So one of the things I like to start with is the laces. On here, they're thin, kind of a polyester material, but there's a little stretch in it. So you can get a good tight fit on your laces when you're getting ready to go out and run. But once you start running, these are going to still give a little bit. So you're not going to get that aching up on the bridge of your foot. The tongue, it's got a thin tongue, semi-gusseted on the inside here. Right about here on the inside, the tongue is gusseted or attached down here. So it's got a strip coming down here from the tongue, down here on the tongue to keep that in place so it's not flopping over to one side. Then got some padding on there. That's an improvement from the last model. We've got excellent padding around the ankles with protrude out, so that's going to lock your ankle in. Got a nice ankle pull here for putting the shoe on. The upper is an engineered mesh, feels excellent quality, that's not going to wear out on you. You're going to have to work hard if you end up having abrasion issues or cut on this. If you do have one, it's because you tried to do it. Let's move down to the sole. Got a two-tone sole here on coloring. Plenty of rubber on the sole on the main points of contact. You see some breakaways on the sole showing another layer of foam under there. This model, some of the models out with some of the shoe companies show the carbon plate in there. These don't, which is great. Might be a learning lesson that they improved on this model. We've got Flight Foam Turbo on the top section. We've got plenty of stack height here. I think these are going up to around 35 to 38 millimeter stack height overall. So overall, in kind of getting into that new shoe category of what I call a Supermax push, Supermax cushioning. We had cushioning, then we had max cushioning, and most companies still categorize the Dream cushion shoes still in the max cushion, but I like to refer to them as Supermax cush. But this is to get up there with the New Balance SE trainers or the Adidas Prime Max, but extremely light, no twist in there. So very stable, got a good width on the heel, good width on the forefoot. So for your long runs or easy run days, the Superblast is a great shoe to pick up.